Most get-rich-quick schemes enrich the person selling them rather than the person buying them. Building net worth behaves like a predictable algorithm. When you input the correct daily habits over time, the financial output becomes a reliable outcome. This process follows a chronological progression called the evolutionary wealth timeline, beginning here in the foundation stage. The first step is Habit 1, define a ruthlessly specific target. This requires an exact dollar amount and a firm calendar deadline. Author Napoleon Hill identified a definite purpose as the starting point for significant financial achievement. Establishing a specific number forces you to confront the daily operational reality required to reach it. This chart compares income against spending, what Morgan Housel calls the savings rate gap. Habit 2 is mastering this gap. Lifestyle inflation cancels pay raises. If you buy a more expensive car as you earn more, your savings gap remains static regardless of salary. To protect that gap, apply Habit 3, the 3 hobbies rule. Find one hobby for fitness, one for creativity, and one for income. These defensive habits buy you the time necessary to build wealth, but moving quickly requires a shift toward offensive scaling. In the acceleration stage, the focus moves from saving pennies to maximizing the value of your time. This starts with Habit 4, specific knowledge. You must pursue skills driven by your own curiosity, work that looks like play to you, but feels like a difficult task to others. This expertise makes you a high-value bottleneck. Once your unique skills are in demand, you can enforce Habit 5, an aspirational hourly rate. You delegate any task that costs less than your target, perhaps $500 an hour, to prioritize the work only you can do. You then multiply that value through Habit 6, taking accountable risks. Putting your personal reputation on the line invites the kind of outsized opportunities that anonymous workers never see. Scalable wealth requires detaching your earning potential from your physical, wakeful labor. To achieve that detachment, use Habit 7, employ permissionless leverage. This involves using code or media to scale your efforts without needing an employer's permission. A faceless YouTube channel acts as digital real estate. You build the asset once, and the platform distributes it to a global audience while you sleep. This leverage makes it easier to achieve Habit 8, accumulating equity. True wealth comes from owning assets like businesses or intellectual property that compound independently of your time. This line graph shows the linear trajectory of a standard salary. It is limited by the number of hours you can personally work. An equity-backed asset follows a different path. Once it gains traction, the growth curves upward and eventually outpaces a flat salary. Without employing leverage and owning equity, your maximum income remains capped by the hours you stay awake. We conclude with the scale and sustain stage, where your wealth machine must operate independently of your daily motivation. This requires Habit 9, building systems. Creators use standard operating procedures to automate the heavy lifting of their business. Mastery also requires Habit 10, unreasonable resilience. You have to push through the months of zero traction that often precede a major breakout. Multi-millionaire founders stick to their original blueprints. They give compounding the space it needs to work, rather than drifting when they hit an obstacle. A moment of reflection. As investor Naval Ravikant notes, a person who has developed these skills would likely rebuild their empire within a decade, even if they lost all their capital. Wealth acts as the consistent result of the person you have become through daily systemic habits. To start that progression today, hit subscribe and then commit to Habit 1 in the comments. State your exact dollar target and your deadline.